Hey guys, this is Oracle Daphne. My name is Beth, and I'm back today to do your July 2019 monthly tarot horoscope. This is for everyone with their ascendant, sun, or moon in the lovely Capricorn. And I appreciate your support and love of my channel. You guys are my biggest fans, yeah, I appreciate it a lot. So anyways, this is the last sign that I'm actually recording this series, and so I am calling this month of July themed with love and romance. Hopefully we'll see some love and romance happening in the cards for you guys. If you'd like to get a private reading, you can check out my website, oracledaphne.com. I am still taking private readings. You can also check out my update video, what's going on with me. I did a little video about that. And so yeah, let's just kind of jump right in. I'm really excited to see what you guys are going to get. I don't have an overall sense of what July is going to be like for you. To me, it has a lot of individual elements. This kind of came up for some of the other signs. I feel like there's best case scenarios that could happen and then worst case scenarios. And when I say best case scenarios, it's like the best things that you could get in July, to me, are symbolized by these three cards. We've got the Page of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Pentacles. Those are going to be, like, to me, the cards that represent, like, the best that you can get. Until then, it's kind of like everything's pushing you to make a decision, because we have the decision, the Ace of Swords in the immediate future. To me, this is cutting through the bullshit. It's cutting people out of your life. It's deciding you're no longer going to be part of a certain group, or deciding you're no longer going to be friends with so-and-so, or making the decision. You know, for me, this is personal relevance, because I got this card when I looked at the cards for myself for making the decision to stay here in Nebraska. And I had seen it before, and I actually had thought that it was my decision to leave. And it was. I was going to leave. But then this came up after I had made the decision to stay. So again, staying or going, it's going to depend on where you're at with things. But to me, it's a major decision. It's also healthy communication too. It's also putting the sword down and not fighting. To me, it's getting to a point of resolution. I definitely feel like there is something building for you guys. Like, in some way, things are like, there is some element of a build up. It's almost like a passive aggressive build up though. It's not like there's a lot of tension per se. It just feels like there's a buildup. There's something that's kind of pushing you to get to this decision-making point. I don't necessarily feel like you're just going to make this decision out of the blue. I feel like you come to this decision because of a bunch of different things. Now, it could be staying somewhere, or it could be going somewhere. Remember, it just depends on what your situation is. You know, you have the Ace of Swords with the Seven of Swords matching up also. So again, this is cutting through the BS. You know, deciding you're not going to deal with this person. Deciding you're not going to cheat. Or deciding you're not going to, you know, have any more contact with someone who's not good, you know, or who's not like who's not healthy for you in some way. Okay, let's just put it that way. other people, this decision has nothing to do with another person. It really is about you. Some of you are kind of tired of the single life too. Capricorns can get really fed up about being single. They're really just so much better in relationships. So if you don't have a relationship, to me, this is like you getting to a point where you're like, okay, like I really need to have sex. So like, you're like, I'm at the decision making point. It's time to have sex. Like it's now or never. Anytime now, you know, you're like, anytime now, like I can get it on. And it's funny, I looked down and here we got the Ace of Wands coming in from the outside. So I don't think, like, once you make up your mind that that's what you're going to do, that's what you want to do, I feel like you're going to find someone willing to do it with you. It just is a matter of deciding that's what you want. I think Capricorns Capricorns are notorious for putting work before relationships. They just are. So some of you may have the hots for somebody at work or someone that you know through work, or through friends that maybe, you know, they may be in the same line of work. Two, I do see someone dating a musician. I see someone dating an artist. Could be a graphic artist also. I feel like, and I see someone who has kind of like a, I don't know, maybe like an outdoorsy kind of job where it's like maybe they get paid to dog walk, or like maybe they work for like an agricultural department somewhere, you know, or maybe they work, like outside with animals, or I don't know. There's something about working outside. I also see working with plants and or trees. Could be like working at a nursery or something like that too. I just feel like there's like a bunch of different jobs that they could be doing. It could be like a million different things for the rest of you that are watching. So I'm not going to go too far into it. I'm just seeing a bunch of different things. I feel like some of you are going to meet someone either while you're on vacation or while you're traveling. If you are moving, I feel like you may meet someone like through the new job. If you get a new job, a lot of times moving and a new job go together. So it's like if you move and you get a new job, you're going to meet someone through that new job. And or you're not planning on meeting anyone at all, and you're just going to really settle in well to your new job and or settle into the new place that you're living. I definitely see that. Any kind of new job that happens is going to really revitalize you. Like in some way, I feel like Capricorns, like some of you just really need a new job. You need to kind of do something that refreshes you, that gives you kind of like a new perspective on things. I feel like a new job does. It may not be like some of you, it may not be like a new job per se. It may be just a sort of maybe like a lateral move or move within a company or something a little bit different. Maybe it's something different than what you've done before, you know? And I feel like it's just going to really refresh you. Really, 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 really refresh you. We got the Nine of Cups, the Chariot, and the Page of Swords. Sorry, to me, this is like being refreshed. So it's like halfway through July, I don't know, it just feels like you're getting a kind of refresh happening, you know? Maybe you're getting like a makeover or something, or maybe you're doing something that refreshes your body in some way, you know? I feel like a lot of people are going on vacation. So again, there's the vacation element here that's always kind of happening. Swimming with the dolphins, something fun. Okay, so I was going back to what I was saying, okay, about best case scenario. There's a best case scenario with these three cards. those three cards were the Page of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Pentacles. So best case scenario, there's the seed of potential which the Page of Pentacles has. And that means you're going to eventually reap what you sow. Whatever you do now in July, it's going to pay off in August. It's also the element of the new. You know, it's the new baby. It's the new, like I said, the new job. New jobs have coming up for every single sign, just so you guys know, like everyone. And the potential for things to grow is what the page represents. It also represents school, going back to school, continuing education, taking a class, maybe getting a certificate of some sort. Could be job training also. The Queen of Wands, to me, typically in the highest vibe of this queen, she's very self-confident, high-powered. You know, she may have musical gifts and talents, not always. She's kind of a diva. She can be kind of a diva, just a strong person, though. I see Capricorn females as the Queen of Wands quite often. Queen of Pentacles also. But the Queen of Pentacles can be a lot of other signs. She can be a Cancer. She can be a Sagittarius. She can sometimes show up as air signs. I've seen her show up as Leo before. So it just depends on, I feel like the Queen of Pentacles could be other people. I feel like, though, the Queen of Wands represents the highest potential for you to have a positive attitude towards your life. To me, it's, again, living life, having self-confidence, being motivated to get things done, doing things kind of on your own. She's very self-sufficient. She knows how to get things done. She knows how to run the show. And then the Queen of Pentacles, to me, is someone who's really giving, nurturing, loving, a mother. Sometimes this can indicate pregnancy or being a mother, becoming a mother, going through a major shift sometimes. So like the highest potential for you in July, Capricorn, whether you're a guy or a girl, is to embrace the new and to start something now which will come to fruition later. It's to kind of have a positive attitude about getting things done, being willing to work hard, being willing to take initiative, being self-motivated. And then, of course, the Queen of Pentacles, which is being very generous, embracing your sensuality, your sexuality for, you know, for what that is. It's kind of blossoming into and growing into who you're meant to be on like a spiritual level, embracing purpose and harmony, and also spending time in nature. You know, I feel like I'm kind of a broken record when it comes to this topic, but I don't care, because you know what? Honestly, people spend more time on their cell phone than they do outside. People spend more time inside nowadays than they do just like touching like the grass with their toe, you know? So it's just like one of those things. There's a harmony that can be achieved if you spent a little time outside. You went for a walk in a field somewhere and you let yourself get lost there for half a second. And I just think that's the highest potential for Capricorn for July. Worst case scenario, you stay in this place of sadness or grief or feeling like kind of hopeless. Worst case scenario is you deal with, you know, someone who's not telling you the truth. That's the liar, cheater, thief. You know, you're dealing with someone who's not giving you what you need or want. You feel overburdened because the Ten of Wands is overburdened by your bills and responsibilities and life. And then, of course, the Emperor being I don't know if this was the outcome, but the Emperor showed up later in July. Worst case scenario is that you don't embrace your power and you don't make changes, and you just kind of stop yourself from growing. Worst case scenario is that you spend your time walking on concrete, because to me the Emperor is concrete. The Emperor is the wall, it's the concrete, it's the marble, it's the hardness. There is something about embracing softness here. Embracing, if you're a female Capricorn, embracing your femininity. If you're a male Capricorn, this is like getting in touch with like your masculine side, your drive, your initiative. It's hard to say because, again, we have worst case scenario, best case scenario. It's sort of like, it's hard to say how the month is going to go. I don't have an overall sense of how it's been going. I kind of almost feel like it's been going better than how July is going. So again, that's why I feel like it's hard for me to say, because it's really up to you to decide, or not even to decide. It's really up to you to become empowered and to make changes for yourself. It's not even about the overall foundational energy. Like, to me, it's almost like it's too individual for me to express a foundational energy. Like, the foundational energy that I was picking up for Libra was that it was very light, it was very bubbly, it's very fun. But there's really no foundational energy for you. And that tells me that maybe you're a little bit absent in your life. Like, you're not there. Like, you show up, but you're not there. And you may be watching for like a Capricorn male or female that's not you, that's like a partner or someone that you're trying to figure out what the hell their deal is. And the deal is that they're not telling you the whole truth, not communicating with you in a healthy way, not maybe they're not even there for you. Capricorns can be kind of like obsessed with people that are not in their lives. Like, I feel like there's an absence. Like, you could be like interested in someone who's not there, literally. Maybe they're there like physically, because that's the Capricorn energy, but not like emotionally. They're not interested, or they're not into you, or they're not into whatever it is that you want. There is a card about your finances improving and not to lose hope, about improvements, things improving. So I do want to deliver that message because that's going to mean something to someone. Especially if you got, like, you went through a divorce, or there's some kind of financial loss after like a breakup or a divorce. You know, sometimes people have to move out quickly if they're, you know, with someone. You do need to be practical and guarded with your finances, though. Only gamble what you can afford to lose. That's the message. But there are improvements. So I don't feel like you're being too reckless, but for those of you who are like, you know, I wouldn't kind of gamble. I wouldn't do any kind of gambling. I don't know why I'm getting that, but I don't see that. There is something about friendship here, having strong friendships, working on your friendships. It's also, the message is, we have the strength to endure the pain, stay undaunted by fear, and resist our animal desires. That's what real strength is. So, strength to endure the pain. Stay undaunted by fear. It's really a beautiful message, because I think like we get kind of sucked down sometimes into our hurt or our loss. And or things not turning out the way we want them to turn out. But also we get very fearful. We're fearful that we're going to get hurt again, or we're fearful that things are not going to end up well. And then our animal desires, sometimes I think it's a balance between listening to our body, but then not getting too carried away with just like lusting after people, hooking up with people, sleeping around and things like that. And of course, the next card I pulled was the sex, passion, and love card. So some of you are a slave to your sexual desires. Not everyone, but some of you that are watching. There is a lot about unconditional love here. This came up for one of the other signs too, loving someone unconditionally. Some of you have or are learning what unconditional love means. And some of you have a friend or somebody that you do love unconditionally, or you have someone that's in your life that loves you in a very, I want to say, parental type way. It could be like your mom, you have a strong relationship to your mom or your dad, that there's some kind of unconditional love from them. It could also be from a friend. To me, there's something about a friendship here too. It's just very special. There may be some expenses that come up for Capricorn, unexpected things that come up. Now, it came up recently for me where I had some bills that were like, I was like, really, universe, you want to send this to me right now? That's great. F you. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, you may have a little bit of that. You're already carrying quite a burden. I feel like some of you are carrying a heavy load financially. And to add to that is just going to piss you off. Yeah, I feel like your workload, especially towards the end of July, is going to, I feel like, increase. Your workload is going to increase. Either you're working extra hours, or you're picking up extra shifts, or you're working overtime. I feel like there's some kind of serious increase in your hours and your productivity. I don't necessarily feel like it's going to help you, but that may bring the extra income that you need to pay things off or pay things down and get things done. It just feels like it's going to be a burden for you, and you may not be as focused on having a relationship or having a romance. And remember, I did tell you the theme of this month was romance. So everybody needs to make more time for it, regardless of the financial picture. Interesting. It's so interesting because I think like there's an energy that I resonate with, that I'm seeing, that to me feels sort of like that at the times in which you're like ready for a relationship, there's no relationship to be found. And then at the times where you're like I really need to pay these bills, like people come out of the woodwork. You hook up with people, you know what I mean? Maybe you're unemployed for a period of time, and then suddenly it's like all these relationships are available to you, and you're like, but I really just need a job, I really just need some money to pay these bills. And you're like, please, like I just don't have time for that, So it's so interesting because I feel like there's an energy about that here. There's some really beautiful energy, and this is where I want to lead off towards, I want to say, it could come up towards the end, or it could be sort of in the middle of July, where you reach this interesting point. It's a beautiful spiritual point, an emotional point. Even if, let's just say, you have bills that pop up and unexpected things, and July is kind of like a make it or break it kind of month. There is this energy. You got the 8 of Cups in reversed. the Three of Cups in reverse, and the Empress, which is unconditional love. So on some emotional level, to me, it's like a very strong emotional healing and or harmony that you're going to get to. Taking a time out and yet being still very loving to others. Being emotionally available. To me, this is emotional availability. This is also romance. Overcoming. To me, it's like overcoming any kind of emotional blockages. To me, it's like, it's a beautiful point about completion. It's a specific emotional point in time. It's almost like you will know what I'm talking about when you get there. Yeah, the only way to really describe it is like a point of completion. A point of completion. Maybe it's like an emotional, emotionally healing conversation that you have with someone that's the catalyst for this. Maybe it's just releasing a lot of emotion and then suddenly you just feel good. So one of the other signs got this too, but to me this is like a different type of energy. It's a very strong self-reflection time where you see yourself very clearly. And I think actually you might start to see yourself in a very beautiful way. Even if you're a guy, you may start to see, either you start to see the beauty in yourself, or you really are very much in love towards, like I said, the middle to the end, or around the end of July with someone else. To me, this is like, to me it's like a deep kind of love. It's a special love. There may be some person that triggers this for you. This may be, again, where it's very it's a self-reflective kind of energy. Let me know what happens in the comments. To me, it's like an unblock of all this emotion, and it's really beautiful. It's like having a beautiful conversation too with someone that just kind of clicks in, gives you all the feels, So anyways, I'm going to leave off there. Thank you guys so much for liking, sharing, subscribing, Google Plusing. I will be back for more videos, so stay tuned. Definitely give me a thumbs up. I send everyone big hugs, big kisses. And I will talk to you guys again soon. All right, take care. All the best. Bye.